Hello, I'm Kyle in the Sanctuary. I want to welcome you to my channel, Pleasure Den of the Absurd. We're in the final days of January 2025. In roughly about 10 days from now, nationwide across the United States in IMAX theaters, a feature film-length documentary, Becoming Led Zeppelin, will be released. And I am definitely going to go see this movie. It has new talking head interviews with the surviving members of the band. It's going to show film footage that people haven't seen before, which is going to be really nice because the songs that you're going to see in the film are going to be full length. It's being touted as being as close to a Zeppelin concert as we will see. The story is going to be its early beginnings, the meeting of the musicians, the recording of Led Zeppelin debut album, all the touring, and subsequent recording of Led Zeppelin 2. And Led Zeppelin was on the road so much during that Led Zeppelin 2 period that album was constructed in various studios along the way. That's what makes it so special. Now, like I said, I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan. The first video I ever did for this channel was my ranking of the Led Zeppelin studio albums. Now, the criteria for that was if I wanted to put on a Zeppelin album, what would be the first one I would grab as compared to the last one I'd want to hear? You know, it has nothing to do with what I felt is their best work and all that kind of stuff. It was just strictly on how I felt at that particular time, because it is kind of fluid. However, ironically, the two albums that are always on the bottom of the list are Led Zeppelin and Led Zeppelin 2. And hey, listen, hold it, let me get this out. It's not because I don't like them. I love all the Zeppelin albums. What I am saying is, when I was growing up, everybody in town loved Led Zeppelin. And it's just that those two albums in particular, I've heard the most. I've heard them so much that I rarely put them on. But there may be times when I want to hear it just because I've listened to the other ones so much. So that's the great thing about Zeppelin. And I will say this, as I've said before, Led Zeppelin 1, the debut album, is a great template for the band. Everything you're ever going to hear the band do in one way or another is reflected on Led Zeppelin 1. So, I also did a video, one of my early videos, my top 10 favorite Led Zeppelin songs. And with the album rankings, I revisited that premise 1 year later. And I never did do another re-ranking of the Led Zeppelin albums, but I was thinking of maybe revisiting my top 10 favorite songs. It was going to be more along the lines of deep cuts, you know, or songs that maybe aren't played on the radio as much as some of the others. You know what I mean. So I took that concept and I was like, okay, for this video, I just want to get something up real quick. So what I'm going to do is I have the 10 Led Zeppelin albums here. I'm including The Song Remains the Same and Coda just to make it 10. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is just pick a song off of each one that it is a favorite of mine that maybe, yeah, you could consider a deep cut, or maybe one that's not thought of as often as the, classic songs. So, from Led Zeppelin 1, my least favorite Zeppelin album, but it's still a good one. And, I'm going to pick the song, Your Time Is Gonna Come. This song really grew on me over the years. I love the sound of the acoustic. I like when he taps the strings, in the middle of the song. I love that subtle steel guitar. And I think it's a great band effort. All right, Led Zeppelin 2. This one really gets played on the radio a lot. I don't think there's a song on here that you won't hear on classic rock and roll radio. So it's going to be hard. Probably What Is and What Should Never Be is the one that really exemplifies a good early Zeppelin song. This is what Zeppelin was all about. I love it when Jimmy Page plays slide guitar, and it's again great band effort. Next up, from Led Zeppelin 3. Ooh, Out in the Tiles, definitely. Again, like I said before, if you watch those old videos, Out in the Tiles represents that Zeppelin sound that you're going to hear on Presence. Listen to Out on the Tiles, and then go listen to Achilles' Last Stand. Next up, Led Zeppelin 4. Here's another one that you've probably heard every song off of this on the radio. Probably Misty Mountain Hop, I'll just say. There's something about that roll of the song, and the riff and the words, the way Robert Plant double tracks his voice and everything on there. The keyboards too, the double tracked, guitars too. Classic Zeppelin. Next up, House of the Holy. Man, I really like this album. This might be my favorite Zeppelin album. Dancing Days is really my favorite on here. But let's go with The Ocean. Classic Zeppelin for this time. Great song. It's different, it's different, but it's Zeppelin stretching out that formula that they got, man. It's got the riff. It's got the singing. I love it when there's harmony vocals singing with Zeppelin. Next up, Physical Graffiti. Ooh, should I pick just one song off of here? Man, I could pick there's a lot of them, man. House of the Holy, The Rover, Boogie with Stu, I like. Oh, man. It's going to be tough. You know what? I might just go with Boogie with Stu off of this one. Clearly just a jam that, Ian Stewart's playing that piano that was in the house that they're recording in. And, they're just having a great old time. Bonham's drums are echoing off the walls. You get that slap back. And Plant's just riffing on, Richie Valens. So that's fun. I like that. Next up, Presents. This one, Hot Song for Nowhere. Again, harmony vocals. Zeppelin, carefree and fun, at this period in time here. A lost classic that doesn't get enough respect. Hot Song for Nowhere, a good one. Check it out. Revisit it. Oh yeah, I'm going to throw in here soundtrack. Song remains the same. I'm going to say Celebration Day is the hidden classic on here. It was put back into the DVD as an extra. Check that out. Get the DVD of the 2-disc special edition of Song Remains the Same. But you'll really enjoy it, and you'll be like, why didn't they put these songs in the movie? It would have made for a much better movie, man. Oh, geez, with Celebration Day is in it, and I always liked the live version. It's actually one of my favorite songs by Zeppelin anyway. Next up, In Through the Outdoor. Whoo, boy. Controversial album. A lot of people were taken aback by the very contemporary sound of the time when this was released. It was almost ahead of its time, really. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to say I'm Gonna Crawl. Nice, bluesy, Zeppelin, sort of hearkening back to what it was good at in the very beginning. Just doing it old school, and I'll go with that. I'm Gonna Crawl. Next up, even more controversial, Coda. Check out my video about this. I make the argument this is actually a pretty solid Led Zeppelin album, and I still stand by it. I can kind of understand, you know, why people don't like it. All right, calm down now. Relax. All I'm saying, give it a chance. It does have that 80s sounding production to it, but because of that, originally I was going to pick Poor Tom, but you know what? That was recorded in 1970. Let's go with a more contemporary song for the time. I'm going to say Ozone Baby. A lost Zeppelin classic, man. Which, if they had released it as a single when this came out, I think it really would have done well, considering Robert Plant's solo hits at the time, and I think it would have worked. I think it deserves to be heard. So I went through the albums. I picked a hidden gem of a song from each, reminding everybody that Becoming Led Zeppelin will be released in theaters, I believe, February 7th or February 8th. Check your local listings. Check it out. You got to get tickets ahead of time. And in most theaters, I do believe you got to pick your seats too, which I think is a little crazy to do ahead of time, but it is what it is. I'm going anyway. I might go twice, 3 times. If it's good enough, I might maybe go 4 times. Who knows? I'll tell you after it happens. So, what you're going to have to do, in the meantime, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like what we're doing, what we're talking about, go look at my other videos, man. Check it out. I got shorts, I got videos, I got all kinds of fun stuff, Zeppelin related, not Zeppelin related. You never know what you're going to see. Where? Here, in the pleasure den of the absurd.